L losing control is the one,
Well,
maybe.
you're right. Losing control and losing your mind is a completely separate thing. So yes, define for you what losing control might seem.
Like, like not being in control of my actions, like doing something without wanting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's good to separate that because losing control and losing your mind are completely separate things. But they're, again, irrational fears. And that's what we want to touch on here. This is where do we find evidence that this doesn't happen? So if we have 60 years between all of us, right? I feared a heart attack for 10 years, every fucking day. I feared losing my mind and going crazy. I'm going to end up in a psychiatric ward every day. 10 years went past. Now it's 60 years between us here, just on here, and we're missing people. If the people are on, it'd be well over 100 years between them. Now I'm going to ask you a question. 60 years have passed through all our lives here, okay? These irrational fears that we think are going to happen has stopped 60 years of our individual lives that were put on here to have a fucking beautiful life, and we're being stopped by irrational fears, okay? To live like hermits, to live like rats stuck in a cage. All right? That doesn't cut it on here. Action. Now, in order to do that, we must break down things like this to show the brain and show you have to awaken something inside yourself. Number one, you have to get the realization. And as I said, when this is all said and done, this will feel nice. This is great. Look at all this. But when you're out in the car tomorrow, you're gonna freak the fuck out because the brain doesn't learn by what I'm telling you. Okay? It learns by what you do about what I'm fucking telling you. Okay? No point listening to this tomorrow. I'm not going out. I don't care if it's gone over 10 seconds. Anyway, back on to who in 60 years has ever lost their mind? I didn't. Thought I was going to. Anyone lose their mind? So 60 years of worrying about losing their minds. None of us have lost it. What a fucking waste of life. Anyone here die? I can clearly see you didn't die. 60 years of fear and death? What a fucking waste of life. 60 years of heart attacks. Anyone have a heart attack yet? Still waiting on that day you might just, get unlucky and have the heart attack? 60 years of fucking wasted life. Yeah? Irrational fears that never happen. Does it feel like you're gonna go crazy? Yeah. Is it terrifying? Yeah. Do you feel like you're gonna have a heart attack? Yeah. Yeah. Because this is real. Feelings are real. Oh, it's never gonna happen. Never. It's your nervous system. I'm not getting help at the start, which is why Ross at 22 years, Glenn 10 years, 12 years, 8 years, 5 years, 7. Why don't get the help at the start? Forget past is gone. Gone. Never getting it back. Now and the future is in your hands. And when I woke up to that day where I realized, holy fuck, I didn't have a job at 10 years, I'm not letting this beat me. I went on to do things I never thought I could ever, 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 ever do or see. And I was just like all you, afraid to dream, afraid to even think that I could get on a plane one day, I could do this, I could do that. I didn't care about that. I just wanted a cup of coffee in the morning time with no anxiety. That's all I wanted. And that's all that you guys want. But when your world opens up a little bit more, you'll start to dream again. So 60 years of all these thoughts, nothing has happened. Okay, why the fuck's that zooming in like that? I didn't ask it to do that.
It's a
Fucking
new
hell.
feature on I think it's on the Mac. It's super annoying.
I don't like it.
Do you have a Mac? I'll tell you how to
Have a
turn
big
it off.
spot there. No, I'm joking. It's cool. I'm only joking. Right. So, as you can see, Rossa, 22 years. Mark, where are you? 12. Glenn, 10. Da, 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 da. We added up to 60 years, okay? 60 years. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 people. Okay? There's proof. All you guys thinking you're going to lose your mind. 60 years of wasted time. Now, let me rub that out. Let me rub that out. And now I'm going to rub all our names out because something else is going to be put inside this. I want you guys to pay real close attention. I'm literally going to explain how you get past this disorder in the most simplistic tech. It's simply put here, but the work to do it is so fucking difficult. Okay? Because it's scary. But what's even scarier is see them amount of years. Imagine adding another one onto that in your life or another one. No, no, no. Anyway, habits need to persist long enough to break through resistance. Okay? Let's rub this out. Explain very, very simply what this all means. Now, in this box here, we'll actually make the box a bit bigger. Habits need to persist long enough to break through resistance. Resistance is the enemy. Okay? Resistance, it will come every day you wake up. Every day you get in that car, it will say, don't do it today. It's raining out. You might have a panic attack. You might have DPDR. Don't do it today. You're not capable of recovery. You know, you tried this before. You tried it. What's the point? It's raining now. It's this, it's that. The kids, this. Every fucking excuse known to man that you've made up for 22 years, for 10 years. Every day I did it. I'll do it again tomorrow. The most dangerous phrase a human being can say. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'll do it today. I'll do it on Monday. Will you? Okay. But when your life's on the line, it's a different fucking story. You're not about talking about, oh, I'll get the shopping tomorrow for the groceries. Get that tomorrow. But when your life's on the fucking line, I'm getting that now. Tomorrow. Tomorrow my fucking ass. Get it tomorrow. Get the groceries tomorrow. Go for a run tomorrow. This is your life. I didn't sleep well. I had 2 hours of sleep. You can't have that mindset anymore. Remember, I'm talking to you guys as if there's no external stresses in your life. Okay? This is about going to fucking war with yourself. Okay? I can't talk about anxiety disorders and agoraphobia. It's okay. I can't because I know how painful they are. I know what it's like. Your life's fucking. You can't accept that for yourself. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay? And it's okay to suffer like this. If you didn't suffer like this, you'd suffer with something else. Okay? This is whoever made us, God, whatever you believe in. This is your test. Your number one thing in life now is to overcome anxiety disorder. That's your goal. Okay? I'll do it tomorrow. You do the groceries tomorrow. This is your fucking life. Okay? Now, habits need to persist long enough to break through resistance. What is resistance? Here's resistance. It's a big fucking blockage, a big wall. My God, is this a big ass wall? And it's very hard to break through. Now, let me give you some examples of what resistance in thoughts. What thoughts scare you so much that you do not want to go on the other side of we need proof, okay? This is proof. And we have little bits of freedom. A shop, coffee, friends, car journey. This is what proof gives us. Proof is after this brick wall. And what this brick wall is just psychology, the psychology of panic, the psychology of agoraphobia. Mark, if I ask you to go to the beach tomorrow, give me one thought that will stop you and scare you shitless. What's going to happen? What will you be afraid of?
Losing control in my mind. Losing control, yeah, control.
Lose, lose, lose control or lose my mind. Yelling. If I tell you you're not going to the fourth stop, you're going to go back to that stop. That takes 25 minutes, and you're going to sit on there for 25 minutes on a fucking bus or on the train. What's the worst thing you think is going to happen?
Um, I guess I just have a panic attack so bad that I just can't manage it, Not being able to
Okay,
manage or cope. Um,
right. Awful panic. 10 out of 10 panic.
yeah, yeah.
10 out of 10 panic. Sandra, if I ask you, right, forget what we're doing, scrap it. I want you to go over the bridge and go to the Japanese gardens tomorrow. Tell me what's your worst fear? What will happen?
Literally the same as Mark and Yayan.
Right. 10 out of 10 panic. Okay. Musa, if I ask you to get on the bus tonight and go alone to the city centre and get yourself an ice cream, but stay there for a long time, what will stop you? What thoughts?
Mm, Same as Yayan, not be able to cope and collapsing, having 10 out of 10.
Hmm. Okay. See where I'm going with this? I wonder why you're all thinking the same. Vicky, if I asked you to go alone onto the highway and do a junction for 20 minutes alone, what do you think's going to happen to you?
Oh, that I'd have a medical emergency and I can't get off the motorway and no one will get to me. I'll be trapped on the motorway, basically.
Okay. Even though medical emergency on the highway is like one of the quickest medical emergencies that people can get to. But anyway, no problem. Um, sorry guys, I'm just a bit lost on. No, if I ask you, go all the way to Tel Aviv and stay there for the whole day, what do you think is going to happen?
Um, that I would like a lot of the same as Vicky said, that I would be trapped like in traffic, be alone, no one could get to me if I panic, when I panic.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
And for me, got to add myself in here. When I was going out and going into mine, it was I fear I'm going to have a heart attack, or I fear that I'm going to lose my mind and go crazy. Also, okay. So resistance is that. That's resistance. Okay. How do we defeat it? Right. Squiggly line, arrow. 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 Arrow. Squiggly line, 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 arrow. It will all make sense. Don't worry. Squiggly line, arrow. Squiggly line, arrow. Squiggly line, arrow. Right. Well, all makes sense. As I said, this is very simple. It's just fucking very hard to do because it's so scary. Proof is what we need. We need proof. We need to show our brains, show the brain that this doesn't happen. But you have to cross that barrier of resistance so you can give your brain exactly what it needs, which is fucking proof that you have never got for a longevity of time to have to switch over the psychological switch over the empowerment, the bravery, and everything else that will set you free. We need proof. In order to gain that proof, it's going to take everything for you as a human being to break free from this. These disorders are so insidious in nature, so scary. Why would we want to miss out on things with our kids? Why would we not want to go out with friends? Why would we want to be 10 years unemployed? Why would we not want to bring our kids to the cinema? Why? We don't want that. It shows how insidious the disorder is and how scary it can be. Right. Here's how to get there. Month number 1. Month number 1, 1 month. 1 month. Now, Mark, can you tell me what these little lines are?
You say Mark?
Say again?
Did you say Mark? Yeah.
I can't hear you, buddy. Sorry.
Did you call my name?
Yeah, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah. So them little lines are basically, for me, it's the driving. So that's me getting in the car and trying to make it to a further distance, but I can't do it. And the larger squiggly lines
Very
are
good.
me breaking through, and then the ones that go through that barrier was me getting there on the days. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 15 in total, and out of the 15 days, I got 3 days where I broke through it out of the 15.
Jeez, you could have just fucking done this yourself, Mark. Perfect. Sandra, you have a question?
Yeah. So going back to like you have to prove to yourself that those things aren't going to happen. Well, like, okay, yes, I was extremely sensitized from external stressors, blah, blah, blah. But when I was going through 10 out of 10 panic attacks, I did feel like I was out of control. I was speeding home, like very dangerous. And I felt like just so out of it. Like I wasn't like losing my mind, but I did feel out of control and that I could not cope with the panic.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all part of the recovery process. You're gonna feel like that. That's what that is. You try, you try, you try, you try. You
But I
felt
made
like
my
losing your mind. You felt,
distance,
huh?
but I made the distance so that would be going
Yeah, you
through
did.
it, but I still felt that way. Like you're supposed to prove to yourself that that doesn't happen, but I
Yeah,
felt like it did happen.
yeah, you did. But you didn't prove to yourself every day. You turned around so many times. So many times you turned around. I said, make it to the Japanese gardens, make it to the and you never made it. You never made it so
I made
consistently.
it,
Not
I
not
made
long
it
enough.
crap ton. But I feel like you're
Not
not
long enough
understanding
though.
what I'm saying.
I understand exactly what you're saying. You didn't give yourself enough positive reinforcement. You went in a couple of times, felt awful panic. I know how you felt. I did the journeys with you. It's the same journey I do with everybody else. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay? Exactly. You just didn't have enough positive reinforcement. When you were doing it for the first 3 months, your ability to go in and do this and then do it the next day was fantastic. You were you were recovering. You weren't super sensitized. You were happy. You were happy with doing this. You were feeling really good before you got sensitized again. And you were right on track. And you weren't, when you look back at the first 3 months, Sandra, you weren't reacting the way you're reacting after what happened in
Yeah.
it was completely different. Going with the
So
external stressors is so hard, Sandra. And as I said before this, we're acting like the external stressors didn't happen. Okay? Break away from the external stressors. Okay, it's totally different. Even Mark will tell you, Mark's currently going through at the moment what you're going through. But before these external stresses, Mark was flying through it. Some external
Yeah, I,
stresses are so hard.
I nearly think
Yeah,
I'd be fucking free of this if I didn't have so much external stressors. Like I broke out of the gate fucking for 3 months. I'd no really external stressors. And I could see it. I
mhm.
couldn't believe where I was. Train stations, beaches. I couldn't believe it. Then external stressors come in and it fucking tore me upside down. But again,
happens.
there was I couldn't do much exposure for three weeks whatever, and it shrunk me world a little bit because uh, I wasn't doing it every day. And if you don't do it every day with these breakthroughs, you get knocked back. And that's just it. If I had no external stressors and I kept going the way I was going, I'd be free of this, I think.
Mm,
And Sandra,
okay.
I totally understand where you're coming from. Totally, totally. But I just want to bring you back to when the health issues and the relationship issues didn't catch you, okay? I when people are doing so well, I actually plan their recovery a month or two in advance. And when you were on your third month, I had your fifth month set up that you're getting on a highway. That's how good you are improving. I had you written down as she's getting on a highway, and I was looking at the map what the closest one to bring it. In 5 months, you would have been on that. But I kicked you in the ass, and that's okay. But let me explain to you. When you go back, there's two different. You've seen recovery two ways. You've seen it without the external stressors, and with. Okay, and that's two completely different beasts. Okay, it's very hard to succeed at these breakthroughs to 10 out of 10 panics when there's so much external stresses in your life. Okay, so I totally understand your question, but even when you are doing great, okay, in 3 months, that's just solidifying the work. Okay, that's just solidifying the work. And where we have here, Sandra, is what Mark said. All these little ones, like this is a Monday, this is a Tuesday, this is a Wednesday, this is a Thursday, this is a Friday. You're not missing a day, but you need to be up here. You need to be making this progress fucking terrified. Why? Because all you guys know what you're struggling with here. And that's so hard to push past. So what sometimes happens is you'll make it up to the top. Oh, I can't. Okay? And you move back down. Okay? So you go up with all the good intentions. You get the panic because of all this psychology. Oh, no, I can't. That's still success. Okay? That's still success. We're learning because we can't get this every day. That's why look at this. Look at the arrows. Look at the arrows. It's all action. That's all I add. Action. Failure. It's not failure. Here's failure. I'm going out on Monday. I'm not going out on Tuesday. I'm not going out on Wednesday. I had a panic attack on Monday. You have panic disorder and anxiety disorder. Why are you leaving your house knowing or expecting to have no panic? Accept it. That's the part of it. Know that you're getting into that car to feel like shit. I'm not supposed to be happy on this journey. After a couple of months, there'll be loads of nice little moments. Oh, I can't believe I'm here. This is great. Da, da, da. We're not supposed to be happy doing this journey. I was not happy. Every day I went out thinking I'm going to die. Fuck could I be happy? DPDR to the max, thinking about psychiatric wards every day, thinking of calling ambulances and being in a straitjacket. That's what my mind was. But my life was on the line and nothing was going to stop me. Not even death itself. So with this, Sandra, what you're saying is, listen, the more you can get, if you went back. Not now. The old Sandra, without this stuff, okay? Without the external stressors, the old Sandra. Okay? When you are making, which you did, and even with the external stressors, you've just done magnificently, honest to God. And I can only praise you so much. You never give up. And that's why you're going to recover, because you never give up. You're still on here, you're still battling, and that's why you'll make it. But when you, Sandra, the first 3 months, right? You were you were making it through here. You were going over the bridge, you were doing all the stuff, you were making it, you made it a couple of times, but you still weren't making it enough. We were still at the start of a recovery, and that's just the brutal honest truth. You still weren't making enough. You're not supposed to. No one really does. Okay? And that's just you are right on track to keep making it more. So let's say when you are in your best and you're trying 10 days in a row and you used to get 10 days of horrible panic and never make it. And now you're getting 10 days of horrible panic, but you're making it over the bridge 3 times out of 7. Oh, sorry, 3 times out of 10. And then you start to make it 7 times out of 10 over the bridge. And then the bridge is nothing, so you make it every time. And then we start using somewhere maybe 10 minutes after the bridge. So that's your next psychological barrier where this will come up again. You'll be tested with these thoughts. Why? Further from home. Further from home. Oh, now they might come because I'm further from home. Okay, that's another chapter we got to break down then. Same psychology. And we go into it the same way. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. You get closer, you get closer, you get there some days, you don't make it. You get there some days, you don't make it. We keep trying. Discipline is everything. Discipline is everything. And it takes time. It takes time. People are doing this right sometimes and it's still 8, 9 months, That's the thing what I always say to everybody is like, listen, I can guarantee that you 100% get better every single month if you're putting the work in. Could be 5% better one month. After 3 months, 30% better, whatever. But I can never guarantee when full recovery is. I'm no guru, I'm no god. I don't know what's going to happen in your life. I didn't know when Sandra was coming on that this shit was going to hit her. Health and marriage and everything in 3 months. I didn't know that Mark down the line was going to be flying. And then his business is fucking, people are dropping like flies. I didn't know that. So I can't call and say, Mark, 8 months with me, because I'm an old school dude with this. This caught me at 18. I know all the scams. I know all the 90 days to anxiety free bullshit. I know it all. The only way out is true. And there's no other way. There isn't. There's no other way. There's no waiting around for fucking magic healing and magic potions and lavender oil on your fucking pillow. Whatever you fear, you must look that in the eye, grab it by the throat, and pull its fucking head off. Yeah, yeah.
So, Glenn, I want to ask you a question. So, you know how we've been going to the third stop on the train quite a few times now. I guess I sort of feel like, so I thought about going to the fourth stop earlier this week, and I sort of felt like I couldn't physically make myself do it. Do you know what I mean? I guess the
Yeah, of
resistance just
course.
felt that strong that I couldn't force myself to sit there, you know?
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, like how do you get yourself to commit to doing something that you know? So, you're not going 5 minutes away from home, you're going an hour, on the train. You know it's going to be really, really hard. How
Yeah.
do you make yourself do it?
For yourself, again, a very unique situation where you can only commit. You can't commit every day. But it's okay for you because you've already done so much work before you even came on board with me. So that's a luxury that you get that you don't actually have to tackle this every day. And if you did, you'd be flying. But you just can't. You've too many commitments. Okay? But that's the factual based evidence. The more you do it, the quicker you'll be out of it. Okay? But on days like that is like that's not defeat. That's just part of the process. And it's like when my mindset and that would be like I would actually act like that defeated me. Although it's not defeat, but I would actually want to feel like that's getting the better of me. That's winning. That's defeating me. That train. And do you know what? I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm actually not ready to get on it.
Hmm.
I'm not. I'm scared. I'm going to show up I'm going to show. We want to talk about the 25-minute train or the third or fourth stop.
The fourth stop.
Even better. What will happen if you continuously do the third stop, the third stop, the third stop, the third stop? You know what will happen? You'll get sick of doing the fucking third stop. You'll get sick of your own bullshit excuses. That's what will
Yeah.
happen. That's what happens, everybody. Same with me. It just rationality just clicks in of like, I'm going the next fucking stop. My life's on the line. I don't care about the next panic attack. I'm going to the next stop. Now, what's happening for you is that you don't get many chances to fail so consistently. You don't fail on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because you're not out on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't get so many chances to fail. Understand?
Yeah, yeah.
So you have just a little bit of unique case, but it's okay. You'll still get there. On the tour, you keep making it to the third stop. You have to look back and remember, Ian, when you got on that train for the first time a couple of months ago, when was that? How long before you got on a train? How many years?
Probably like 4 years, maybe something like that.
That was only last month.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
you're on the third stop.
Mm.
And you're not even giving yourself props of like, oh, I can't get past the third stuff. You weren't on a plane for I weren't on a train for 4 years, man. Okay? 4 years of your life. Keep showing up to the third and you'll get pissed off at yourself and you'll end up going with the fourth. I won't even have to tell you. You'll
Yeah.
just do it. That's what I'm just when you're on that, like I'm just waiting for that today and like Glenn, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go for the fourth. Because that's how you did the first and went to the second. I remember
Mm.
at the second stop, you're like, do you want to stay on for the third? Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay on for the third. That's what's gonna happen with the fourth. Same. Again, what I spoke about here is distance wise, this is where we have to, with the agoraphobia, what you want to tackle is to tackle things that are achievable, are things that they do bring panic, they do bring a sense of, "Oh, I can't do it every day, it's hard, it's challenging, I don't want to do it." We're ticking away. And it could be like 5 minutes down the road. Okay? Defeat that 5 minutes and get that proof. And then when that's sealed and delivered, what happens basically is, let me rub this out. Here's what will happen. That's great. That's 3 months past, 3 months of great work. Now you don't fear that 10-mile radius. That's brilliant. You can go for the coffee shops locally. You won back a little bit your local area. You're nowhere near recovered yet, but you've definitely got some proof because now you don't feel panic going 3 stops. Now you don't feel panic going on the highway for 5 minutes. I know you want to go an hour, but that's just tough. You can't attain that now. Tough. You're not getting out of this quickly. You didn't get into it quickly, you're not getting out of it quickly. So here's what happens. Now you have to go further from home. Uh-oh, further from home. This means all the real shit can really come true now. So here we go again. We're really away from home. We're really away from home. It's fucking miles away. It was 10 minutes before. Now we're 30 minutes from home. Okay? And now we're faced with all the same thoughts. Debt, going crazy, lose mind. Now your brain has had the proof, and that's the proof that you can manage 10 minutes because you've done it. Maybe it took you 3 months to feel confident 10 minutes. Now you have a 10-minute radius where there's a little coffee shop. Bring your little kids to school. Go on your little walk with your dog. You're not stuck in your fucking house like living like a rat, like a cage. But now you're on to the big boy. Now you're on to 30 minutes. Now when it rear ramps up, right? Now I'm really gonna lose my mind because my house is fucking miles away from 30 minutes, so I'm gonna lose my shit here. Again, now we're talking about when the shit gets real. Okay? Now that's your fourth stop game. Now that's what you're facing. You're facing that psychology because simply, it's just further from home, right?
Yeah.
Simply put, it's not even further from home. It's just further than your illusion of safety that you made up back home in your little circle because you didn't know how else to overcome this. The brain
So
loves that.
tell me what happens, Glenn, when you have that 10 out of 10, it does happen. Let's just hypothetically say I go to the fourth stop, I get that 10 out of 10 panic, I feel like I can't cope. What happens next?
What be could be hard for a couple of seconds or minutes. You'll you'll have all the this is it now. I am gonna go crazy. But you gotta remember this is just adrenaline. And no one ever, there's no mechanism in the brain that forces any human being to go into any form of psychosis from a panic and anxiety attack. There's no mechanism. You don't have a psychotic disorder. You're neurotic. You have a neurotic disorder, believing in things that can't happen. So it will be hurt, it'll be a nasty feeling, be a nasty feeling. And then when I start to come down, you get the biggest high. And oh my God, I can't believe it. I thought that was it. I thought that's where I to die and collapse. I can't believe because there's a real sense of a lot of time when people go through that real panic attack where they think I'm actually dying here, like I'm done, and you're waiting there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes for something bad to happen, and you realize it isn't coming. I'm still alive here, and you're bollocks, like you're totally wiped out because this is like running a marathon when this adrenaline's coming through the body. 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes pass, yeah, and your body starts to have a sense of calm because the adrenaline has released.
Mm.
Okay. And then you realize, oh my God, now you're getting the train home and you just pass through one of the most, like a traumatic, it's not trauma as if it gets stuck in the body of trauma, okay? Well, it's like a traumatic experience, but it's not like a deep trauma that, you have to go to talk therapy and stuff like that to heal, okay? Nothing like that.
That's
But it feels like that. It
what?
feels very, yeah.
That's what I'm scared of. I feel like okay, like if I suffer, it's gonna stick as trauma. Like I don't want to suffer because it's gonna make me weaker instead of stronger.
When you're suffering for 7 years, you probably had this you probably had that thought for 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, can I say something, Glenn? I remember the last time I done it. I think I got the 10 out of 10. I did. I got it because
You got
about,
loads.
about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I thought I was sitting in the field, half an hour away, and then I come round the roundabout, and I was like, "Right, Glenn, you there? You there? You there?" And Glenn's like, "I'm here. I'm here." And it was so uncontrollable. I poured a full bottle of water over my head. I was driving. I
Yeah.
hopped up onto the fucking the I hopped up onto the hard shoulder, slapped the brakes on. So I was soaking from the head to the toe in the driver's seat, and then I slapped it in reverse, reverse back up, looking for a house to run into a house to roar for help.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I reversed back, there was a lad pulling out of the field, and I sort of was able to switch off real quick, give him a wave, and say, "I'll go on ahead." And as he was pulling out, I thought I was going to have to chase him to go after him to get him to say help. Then I ran out of the car and I was roaring for Glenn. And then I got back in the car and I was like, I don't know if I can go back, forward, left, right, anyway at all. And then as Glenn was talking me through, I'm here, I'm here. Just try and relax your shoulders, bring it down again. I can't really remember too much then at that point.
Yeah, I'd never
But
tell
then
it just relax. I'd never tell anyone that.
I started relaxing and that's what happened. I started relaxing, but holy fuck, it was fucking mental. But
It was
there
a
was
nasty.
It was an antichrist, but there was it's a fucking adrenaline hangover because I was grand and I was in a state of equilibrium. I was all right. As I was getting closer to home, then I was like, "Holy, I have to go home and lie down." I was fucked, but it was definitely a 10 out of 10.
Where was it? It was a bang on 10 out of 10, and it's nasty. But Mark, I remember on the way home that I was like, Mark, look how you felt. You literally thought you were dying 60
Yeah,
seconds ago.
I thought it was
And
that
you
was
the
it.
look on you was exhausting. I know. But the feeling of, oh my God, like panic, that's where you realize panic can't actually do that to me. It can't actually make me go crazy. Feels like it, and it's nasty, and I know, and I sympathize with it, and I wish there was another way for you guys, but there's not. there isn't.
So,
But
but
yeah,
the main thing was the next day I got up and I went straight by that man's house again. And that I had to.
yeah,
That's when you show up. That's the showing up bit.
that was the most important thing. And you know what? That day, no anxiety. Weird,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's
So
weird. I
weird.
could feel it. Yeah,
And that was a new place for Mark that he went. Okay, a totally new route that we haven't done in months. It was towards his mom's house, which is one of his goals. And this was the furthest place that he's ever been down this way. And he saw the sign and freaked out. Was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe actually how far I am." Ah,
yeah, it was a big
but
sign. Welcome,
that's
Avon, and I was like, I wasn't at that sign in 12 years, and I could not believe it. And I know that road like the back of my hand because I used to get the school bus for 6 years by it. I just couldn't believe it. And I was grand. I was in the field. I was grand. I was drinking tea water. And it was literally on the way home. My body nearly forgot what fucking where I was and went wallop.
yeah.
But I'm still
No,
here.
no. Yeah, you'll always be here. You're not going anywhere from panic attacks. I know there's a couple of questions there. I'm going to come to Sandra in a second. 1 second, Sandra. Sorry, bear with me, please. No, you had. Did I finish your question? Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I did finish your question about oh, traumatized. Like, for 7 years, you thought about that. So there's your answer. Okay,
right, right,
now go get some proof. Like sitting back and thinking that that's going to happen, that's not getting you anywhere.
right.
Go and see if it happens. Go and check. Okay,
Yeah.
Sandra.
Yeah, just like Norm's question and like what Mark was saying, it's like I've like forced myself to go places before, like obviously like so many times. And it's like sometimes I'll just have to like let the flood happen and then be like after I'm like, I'm okay now, you know? And it's like I absolutely feel like I'm gonna die because it's like, if you have to go to the doctor, like you have to go. So it's like, you have that
Yeah,
flood. But I feel like how Nam said that like she's afraid that it's gonna turn into trauma. It's like I don't know. I kind of feel like that's like what's been ruminating with me for a while now of like it feels so much harder this time around. I'm like, was it trauma? Like, did I traumatize myself in a way with like trying, and then losing it all and having to start over? It's like it's fucking traumatizing of like, and now I just feel like there's such a mental blockage now. I don't know.
a couple of things to touch on. And there's obviously people are in very different circumstances and different situations. Going into this type of exposure to stuff like that, it's done very carefully. It's done with it's not flooding, but also just something that goes. It's not flooding. Technically, flooding. We think like, oh, you have to go an hour down the road. That's flooding. But that method isn't useful. We want to gradually expose ourselves, but sometimes like it is flooding because people that are so terrified, even 5 minutes from home, is flooding. Is terrifying.
Oh,
It's so scary.
yeah. I also mean
Okay.
like even before I got with you, because that's all I knew was like you go, you sit in the parking lot, you suffer for 10, 15 minutes, it passes, and then you're mostly fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I do to people is I gradually put them into places that they haven't been in so long, to expand their horizons, to walk past, to drive past the coffee shop, to drive past like places like the Japanese garden, things that just make you see again, make you believe again, even though you're feeling anxiety and panic, but your world is opening. And the test is yes, you do all like with Noam right now, she's choosing some place on the map where she thought she would panic. She's not getting any. Not getting any. But she thought that now we're actually out testing it. Now we'll keep testing it because I want you to panic. I want you to freak the fuck out. So if this continues for another week or two, well then you're going 10 minutes further to actually get a lump of panic. And
Great.
recovery lies in the panic. And it's again like listen, when we're breaking down other people's situations with what's currently going on, and one thing I realized, okay, working with clients, okay, when I was going through my anxiety disorder, I had no job and I had no kids, okay, and I could put all my work into this, okay, and you can't look at that and say like, oh Glenn, that's lucky though because you had all the time. No, a big part of my a big part of me feeling so low and unconfident and horrible in a man as it was, I had no money, I had nothing. I wish I had a job and to be able to do exposure, but I didn't. That's how my life went. So we can't look at it and say, oh, but Glenn, you had no job, you could do this. No, no, I wish I fucking did. It made it harder for me to go through 10 years of this without no job and money. Okay. That was just my circumstance. Okay. So when I was doing this, I could devote all my time to it. And what I learned very quickly in literally the first two or three clients, when I first worked with a woman that had five kids and a single mother, and her husband was a abuser of drugs and alcohol. I realized, oh, okay, this is something. This is different. Now I got to manage this situation. Okay, so when we look at situations, I start to understand very quickly. Okay, almost 6 years doing this, hundreds of clients, and I realized that the circumstances. Guys, I worked with women that have been raped. I worked with women who have literally been held hostage in different countries, a different country, and their passports took off the child and the woman. Okay. I've worked with people with abuse, and I don't heal that. I am not a therapist. I am not a trauma coach. But I know for a fact by working with people and clients like that, this work heals a lot of the trauma because we become non-victimized. We're taking action. We're going forward with our lives, no matter what happened to us. Women that have been raped, been through awful things, horrible things, unimaginable things, that have had the panic attacks because of this, and we're moving on. We're moving on with life, moving on. And there's people that are going through very rough things, not at the start of coaching with them. Then I've had probably about five people, let's say, who, man and women, they start the process of divorce while they're going through this. It's actually quite a common thing where, oh, the woman is breaking free and then the husband doesn't really like that. It's like to obese people. They're so used to, oh, let's get takeaway tonight, and then the woman's like, I don't want this. My health's being destroyed. I'm actually not eating that. And I need your support. Yeah, yeah, I'll do it with you. He doesn't do it, and she's doing it. And then he's angry because she's losing weight. And then she's going to the gym, and then he's worried, oh, are the men looking at her? And they're not. But she just feels great. And then he puts her down. And it's the same with this sometimes with partners. I've seen it all. And then it's the other flip side, the supportive partner. Well done, babe. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you. Do you want me to go with you? Like it just it's the way it is. It's life, it's relationships. Or it's the best friend. The best friend that you have, like maybe you're talking about being depressed all the time with this friend and you're both friends because of mental health. And then you start to break away of like, I feel great. And this person's still sitting at home watching fucking TV, stuff in the face and doing drugs and cocaine and drinking. And they're like, I don't, you're changing. Like, yeah, I am changing. Yeah, you should do it too. Come on, go on the journey with me. And they're just not ready for it yet. And then you don't become friends anymore. There's loads of things. Okay. So there's loads of things that happen. I've seen it all, went through it all with people, and got some, obviously, you learn best in these jobs like this when you're working with people that go through all sorts of things. Again, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a trauma coach. Nothing got to do with that. Know a lot about it. Damn lot about it because I had it all. I had trauma. Had all of that. I just chose I'm not going to be a victim. And that's that. So that's what I don't want anyone to choose. Victimization. Okay? Victimization. You don't want. You don't want. So habits need to persist long enough to break through resistance. And that's one of the things where like, well, Glenn, I'm working with you 3 months and I haven't got, yeah, okay. Well, if you really want the facts, You missed Tuesday, you missed Wednesday, you missed Thursday. You went out, you didn't make it that day, you didn't do that, didn't that. You made it that day, you made it that day. You need to start making a little bit more, okay? Make a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. There's one thing I never get angry at the person suffering from this. I get angry at the disorder. I get pissed off at it. It fucking annoys me. When I see people in the car turning around all the time, I'm like, fucking just go. I'm never angry at the person. I'm angry at the disorder. Let me check this. Because I know what it was like. I know what it was like. It was like when I was suffering. I just needed the support. I needed the push. I needed someone on my back. So anyway, guys, proof. As you've seen tonight, okay? As you've seen, you all think the same. You all have the same thoughts. You're just all in this for different reasons. And it takes months to overcome an anxiety disorder. It takes months. It doesn't take weeks. And no one really knows what comes. No one knows your health. You could get into a relate. Some people when they come on, like if someone's not seeing like anybody, like I don't know, like let's say known for example. I didn't get into this conversation with her yet, like relationships and stuff like that. But if she comes to me and says, I'm not dating anyone at the moment, I'm like, don't. Get off all the apps, get off them, you focus on yourself. That's one thing I recommend people. Focus on yourself. The person's going to get the best version of themselves. But it's very hard that when you're with somebody in a relationship and they don't truly understand the disorder, even if they do, they're going to want so much that you're not able to give right now. And that's going to make you feel like shit. What they want to go to cinema so bad, and you have to make up that lie that you had the flu for the 115th time in the last 115 days. It's not nice. That just hurts you. Okay?
Yeah,
It's relationships.
that's how it's been when I try to get into relationships, and there's always like a 1 month, like after 1 month, it just doesn't make sense anymore that I don't go to their house and they're always coming to me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was like me. It was like I remember a funny story with myself. I was seeing a girl, really liked her, really liked her. I thought this could be the girl, she's lovely, she's beautiful, she's kind. And then she's like, Glenn, can you collect me from work? Yeah, I have the flu. And then I was like, I know this restaurant. She sends me the link, and it's like 40 minutes away, and I'm in a 5 minute radius. Like, I ain't
Yeah,
going anywhere.
yeah,
And then I'm like, oh no, there's a beautiful restaurant there my way. It's beautiful, like fucking McDonald's, state of the thing. And I remember taking her there, and then taking her home and cooking her dinner and having food, listening to music, having a beer or two. After a month, I remember one girl saying to me like she started to cry and all, like, and that's when I just realized, oh my God, like this actually hurts people. I remember saying to this girl, her name was Rachel, and I remember saying to her, like, she says, Glenn, I need to ask you, are you ashamed to walk down the road? She's so beautiful, like she's lovely and so kind as well. And she's like, are you ashamed to walk down the road with me? And for the first time, I was like, Glenn, grow a set of balls and man the fuck up. I'm like, Rachel, listen, I'm sorry. She said, I'm suffering with something called panic disorder and agoraphobia. I don't even know. It's hard for me to explain. Probably like 22 at the time. I said, it's hard for me. I can't even get on the bus or the train. And she was very understanding with it. And I just said, I'm not ready to date anybody. And that was it. Happened loads of times. So I always advise certain people, independent where they are, like, please don't date anybody. Focus on yourself. So now, if I hadn't had that conversation with you, there it is now.
yeah.
Because you don't need pressure. You don't need pressure. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to cut this off, guys, and then we're going to have a little chat. Just for those that didn't make it tonight.